Carolina Panthers fans need these 5 players to have a great training camp if they want to make it back to the playoffs. With training camp just a week away, here is the players who the Panthers need to step up the most if they want to make it back-to-back division titles in the NFC South. What's going on, guys? My name is Tanner Blue with Carolina Panthers Digest Media. Really excited to be a part of the team. Thank you to Digest for bringing me on. Really excited to build a community and talk Carolina Panthers football with you guys all day, every day. Bring you all the news, the rumors, post-game, pre-game, all the good stuff and everything in between. Really excited to bring that to the YouTube platform to talk about with you guys. So 5 players that the Panthers really need to step up to get to the next level and to really have a great training camp. Now, we know the big names. We know the heavy hitters. We know Derrick Brown. We know Bryce Young. We know Tetairoa McMillan. We know Chuba Hubbard, Jaycee, those guys. We know that. But who are some of the younger guys that we really need to have a great training camp to take that next step to help this football team? Maybe some rookies. Maybe some guys that they brought in free agency. Maybe some guys that are in their second year. Well, who are some of those guys? I want to take a look. Let's start with the first one. And this here, one of my favorite players on this football team, that is going to be Mr. Nick Scorton, the second-year man coming out of Texas A&M. Look, the Panthers, it's no secret the pass rush last season was a huge issue when it came to getting to the quarterback. But one of the few bright spots, other than Derrick Brown on that defensive line, was going to be Nick Scorton. One of his biggest traits coming out of Texas A&M was he had a high motor. And if you watched him play last season, you could tell this guy has got a high motor. Even if the stats weren't necessarily popping off the screen, this guy really was in on every play. And he played hard. He was good, a very good run stopper to be a rookie. And you could slowly see his pass rushing skills come to fruition as the season came along, and he really was starting to become a pretty decent player. As a matter of fact, if you want to take a look at Nick Scorton's stats here, pull these bad boys up, you can see that after a few games, Scorton was really able to start to kind of pick up the pace. We take a look here. He had 47 total tackles. He had 5 sacks his rookie season. That is tied for 3rd in the National Football League for rookies in the NFL last season. So Nick Scorton, if he could really bring that pass rush up another level, if he can keep that high motor, if he can bring the intensity, have him on one side, have Jalen Phillips on the other, I'm really feeling good about what this Panthers pass rush can do. So this is my number one guy to look out for. Really think that he's got the work ethic and what it takes to make it to the next level. So I'm really excited to take a look and see what Nick Scorton can do when it comes to year 2. Staying on that defensive line is going to be another man, our second-round pick, Lee Hunter from Texas Tech University. Guys, it's no secret, again, that the Panthers pass rush was a little bit of a tough area last season, but they were improving when it came to stopping the run. But you just feel like Derrick Brown needs a running partner. He needs another guy next to him, someone, a big body, a big nose tackle that can get in there and just stop the run, wreak havoc, and just take some pressure off Derrick Brown. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think Lee Hunter can be that guy. They get him in the second round. A lot of Panthers fans, we signed some guys in pass and free agency. Turk Ward, unfortunately, with another injury. Not sure if he's going to be able to play the season. If he does, it's probably going to be later on. So what are the Panthers going to do? I mean, they need another guy. They didn't sign a D-tackle in free agency, really, of anyone of high regard. So what do they do? They get Lee Hunter in the second round. I think if this guy can just be a compliment to Derrick Brown and just try to get some of those double teams off, this defensive line can be leagues above of what they were last season. If Lee Hunter can just come in, stop the run, do what he can do, and just really get some of that pressure off Derrick Brown and make his own plays and continue to progress like Nick Scorton did last season in the second half of his rookie year, this Panthers defensive line going to be something to watch out for. So really excited when it comes to Lee Hunter adding to that defensive line, and I think pretty soon he should have a chance to start. Maybe right away he will, but he's definitely going to get his opportunities with the unfortunate injury to Turk Wharton, and they're thin at D-tackle, so I expect him and Bobby Brown and other guys to get some reps in there, but really looking forward to Lee Hunter. Let's switch sides here, go to the offensive side of the football. Another guy that was a lot of fun to watch last season who I think can take another step, going to be Jimmy Horn Jr. Guy coming into his second year out of Colorado, really worked his way into the lineup into some situations here and there, and really is one of the only players on the Panthers offensive side of the football, other than some other guys we've added last season, who can really stretch the field and has this unique ability that he has speed to beat anyone over the top. It can be with wide receiver screens. It could be, different option plays. This guy's got speed, and I feel like the Panthers tried to utilize some of that last season, and you did see it pay off in some ways. Huge game against the Miami Dolphins, Jimmy Horn Jr. had. Really a season-turning catch when he had that big first down. And then he made some other big catches as well during the season whenever he had the reps and opportunities. Would have liked to see him play a little bit more, but that's okay. I think Jimmy Horn Jr. has the talent, has the speed, has the potential to at least be a really good third down receiver, a third or fourth option, someone to stretch the field. You've got Tetairoa McMillan, you've got Jalen Coker, you've got Xavier Legette. We're still waiting. The jury's out to see if he can do anything. We drafted another young man, Chris Brazzell, in the third round. What can he do? Jimmy Horn Jr., the opportunity is yours to be that number 3, that number 4 receiver. So if he can lock down that position, continue to build upon his ball catching skills, continue to go and learn the playbook, and continue to be a fast player on the field, I think he's going to have the opportunity to get his reps and to help out Bryce Young. So we need Jimmy Horn Jr. to have a big training camp. Another guy staying on the offensive side of the ball and on the skills position is going to be someone I just mentioned, Chris Brazzell II, coming out of Tennessee. Now, I know a lot of people in the draft world a little bit nervous about this pick because this guy, he's got a lot of speed, he's got good hands, he's got the size, but he's coming from Tennessee, and they run a certain kind of offense at Tennessee. And a lot of people saying, hey, Tennessee wide receivers in the past historically have not working out. Are the Panthers taking a risk on a guy like this? Can he be the number 3 receiver that they need him to be? Well, I'm here to tell you, so far, I know it's an early sample size, but we've seen what some of these guys have done in rookie minicamp and OTAs. He looked good. He looked natural. Obviously, we're going to need to see more in training camp, and he could have a huge training camp and things completely turn around. But I've got potential here. I'm gonna give the Panthers staff some credit here. They went on in a guy that they thought could be, a really good second receiver eventually, or potentially even a number 3 this season to replace Xavier Legette if he doesn't work out. They got a guy that's tall, he's lanky, he's fast, he seems to have good hands. I know he's from a system that traditionally doesn't make a lot of great NFL receivers, but hey, you have to take a little bit of a shot here. I believe this was in the 3rd round as well that they do this. So to get a player this caliber this late in the draft, it's worth a shot. Hopefully it works out for the Panthers. We need Chris Brazzell Jr. the second, to prove everyone wrong and see if we can have a big training camp. That would be huge. But last but not least, not a rookie, but another second-year guy, someone that flew a little under the radar for me last year that I think a lot of people aren't talking about, is going to be the second-year man, Trevor Etienne Jr. Now, we saw last year with Etienne, obviously he got stuck behind the absolute bulldog that was Rico Dowdle whenever he started to come on. Chuba Hubbard, obviously, there as well, with facing some injuries, but it was really hard for Etienne to kind of crack that lineup with those two that two-headed monster back there. But there were some points last season in the preseason as well in the regular season where Etienne would get the ball and you could see him kind of make some plays. And I think it's really noteworthy because unfortunately our running back room has been plagued with a few injuries. So if Etienne is available whenever this happens, if Etienne is available whenever the season comes around, and Jonathan Brooks unfortunately could be hurt again, we've seen him hurt twice. If the time comes and Jonathan Brooks goes down with another injury, who else are you going to turn to? You need a guy like Trevor Etienne, a guy that's on a cheap rookie contract, to come in and to be able to spell Chuba Hubbard. And there were some moments last year, like I was saying earlier, where you saw some of the plays where Etienne had good speed. He just seemed to kind of keep moving forward. He seemed to have a little bit of potential. I would have liked to seen him get some more burn as the season went on, but I understand Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle doing their thing. We hope Jonathan Brooks stays healthy. We really do. We know from the amount of the few plays that we have seen when he's on the field, he seems like he could be a really electric player, especially when he was at Texas. But we need a guy like Trevor Etienne there just in case things go wrong. And even then, if Jonathan Brooks doesn't go down, you got 3 guys in that backfield that can really carry a workload. So why not? Let's see what Trevor Etienne Jr. can do. Let's keep our eyes on him and see what he can do this upcoming season. So those are my 5 players that the Panthers fans need to watch out for to have a huge training camp. If these 5 guys can produce and do what they do and do it at a high level, there is no doubt in my mind the Carolina Panthers will have a successful season again next season, and we're looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for the first video here. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. More videos coming daily. But I feel like this will be a good starting point once training camp gets going. Everybody's getting excited for that. So make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.